So I feel like we should make a tier list for Overwatch real quick, just because I feel like there's a lot of, I don't know, misconceptions, so to speak, of what's going on in the game of Overwatch, right? Like what we're doing, what everything's going on, things like that. Like there's a huge amount of misconceptions. I also just realized that I don't have a face cam on this, which is fine, except for the fact that I want a face cam. Hopefully this works. Yeah, there I am. Look at that. Easy. All right. Yeah, I'll do it by roll. Well, no. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do all of it, but I'll do it by roll to start, just so I can go like one by one. All right. I'm gonna do it roll by roll, probably. Yeah. I feel like I shouldn't start with tank though. I feel like it's a bad start. I'll start with support. I'm gonna start with support. Oh no, not tank and support, just support. So I'll just go down the list. So Anna, Torbjorn number 2. Anna, I feel is very strongly is in the A tier. I think she still has a lot of value, like purple sleeps and things like that. I just think that the reintroduction of the Winston bubble, especially the Winston bubble, but along with a lot of the other things going on, you know, Sombra, Reaper get in the back line, but she's a little bit of counters with those two. I think she's really good, but I think she's definitely not S tier. I don't know that, actually that's not true. There is one support that is in the S tier, but I feel like Anna's very strongly in there. Baptiste, I'm gonna have to go down to C tier. Here's the thing. Her kid is still really good, but she struggles against Winston DVa. Yeah, that's the thing. She struggles against that. Here's the thing about Baptiste. He could be D tier or he could be B tier based on what's played around him. Okay? Like if you play a double shit, like a Ryan Orisa with a Baptiste, he will get ult literally every 30 seconds and you could have a bunch of pull fire strike kills. Like he can be good. But that's the thing is my tiers, the way I'm gonna qualify these tiers, okay? I really should always good. Usually good. Good if not countered. Just to quantify it a little bit. Situational. So, okay, we'll just say situational. Since it splits that Y for some reason. And needs work. Alright. This is the way I'm quantifying this. Kala, what are you doing? Alright, so Baptiste is situationally good. Not Moira. Anna's usually good. Alright. I'm also putting Brig in situational. Here's the thing about Brig, okay? This is really the reason she's situational. Is if, and this is a big if, okay? If the enemy Reinhardt, the enemy main tank is not a threat, but they have a bunch of brawlers. They have a Sombra, they have Reaper, they have Genji, they have Tracer, they have a bunch of close range brawlers, and the main tank is not a threat to you. Brig's actually really good. Okay? Brig's actually really good. But it has to be in that situation. Every other situation, it's like, okay, but why not speed, right? Like, in every other situation, it's either like, why not speed? Or it's like, okay, well, like, why not res or power boost, right? Or one of the other main healer. Like, it just doesn't work, like, at all. Okay, Lucio. Okay, so this is my always good. Here's the thing about Lucio. Is because the power creep went down, as far as AoE heals from the main healers, and AoE damage from damage dealers and really everybody, Lucio's damage output, ability to speed people as a team and get the team focus going, and Lucio's ability to like just go duel something is absolutely incredible, and there's nothing that can really like punish him other than a sniper. Bye, Rosalie. I remember your name now. Bye, Rosalie. Yeah, Lucio's always good. Like, he's stupid good right now, and he's gonna stay stupid good. Mercy, I'm gonna put in usually good as well. Not as good as Ana, but usually good. And the reason is the game of Overwatch right now is very much in that team focus, move together, brawly, Sombra, Reaper composition, or it's the individual pick compositions. You play snipers, you play one clips or a Doomfist, you play jumpy things, you mechanically dominate. So it's either team shotting or team doing things with Sombra, Reaper, dive, something like that, or you move. You main Ana, right? I main every healer basically. So if I had to pick a main for my healer, it'd actually probably be Lucio. But Ana's Lucio, I don't know which one I've played more, Lucio or Ana. It's one of the two. I don't remember which one though. But yeah, no, but Mercy's really good still. Moira is going to be usually good. She's going to be ahead of the other two. Here's the thing about Moira. Moira's in the game right now. She's meta right now because she's not as vulnerable as Ana. Ana actually has the better kit for the meta right now. Like, imagine if you were running the meta, but instead of having a Cole, you had Nano Monkey or Nano Reaper or Nano Sombra to instantly get your EMP back, right? Like, imagine that's what you have rather than a coalescence. Imagine instead of just sheer output, you have purples, like sheer healing output. You have purples. Yeah, that's but that's exactly what it is. All Moira has is survivability, and unfortunately, Ana doesn't. That's the only reason Moira's a little bit better. That's it. You haven't seen actual meta? So the meta right now is Winston, DVa, Reaper, Sombra, Moira, Lucio. It's kind of a rushdown composition. It only works at, like, team-wise at high caliber. It doesn't really work otherwise. All right, and our boy Zen needs some work. Here's the thing about Zenyatta, okay? He has all the vulnerabilities of Ana, right? With none of the healing capabilities and none of the stunning capabilities and none of the offensive capabilities of like a purple, except for like sheer damage output, right? And everything is so fast moving. How is he supposed to survive anything, right? This is the problem with Zenyatta, is it feels like the only way Zenyatta will ever function in Overwatch is if the burst potential of a character or multiple characters in your team are so high that you literally can't dive, okay? That's the only time Zen's viable. Like, think back. The only time Zen's ever been viable is when the burst potential or the survivability potential is so incredibly high that you can't you can't afford to dive and kill a Zenyatta, right? But the issue is that we just nerfed all of that. Survivability and damage. We just nerfed it. And yet Zenyatta is still in this, like, I can heal with my one little orb. And okay, trans is there, but it's countered by a bunch of stuff. Like, it's not great. It's not a good situation to be in. Okay. All right, let's do damage. All right, Ashe. Ashe, I feel pretty strongly is still in the usually good in the B tier. In the lower part of the B tier, but in the B tier for sure. She's one of those that's like, okay, you know, I find I struggle against Dives Ashe. Yeah, but the whole point of Ashe is you function like with a Mercy, and you're able to survive. She has some survivability. She's Coach Gun. She has, you know, a Mercy pocket, things like that. She has some survivability, and I feel Ashe can function, but it's hard. It's really hard. Bastion will forever be there. Doom is going to be our first good if not countered. If he's not countered, if no one's going to go after him, if they're just going to let him do rollouts, let him do whatever he wants, Doom is great. If he's going to be out of a fight for so long, where by the time he goes in, two of his teammates are already dead, and then he goes in and there's such survivability with the Moira or Lucio or anything else that he can't get anything, he's going to suck, right? And I feel like this is a good spot for Doom. I think Genji's actually in the exact same spot. I think he's actually a little bit better than Doom, though. The thing about Genji is that he does have that ability to kind of stay in a fight and poke. So it works pretty well, right? Hanzo, I'm going to put up here. Slightly worse than Ashe because he doesn't function off a Mercy Pocket quite as well as Ashe does, and his lunge is not quite as good as a Coach Gun. His lunge plus wall climb is as good as a Coach Gun, but it's a little better than a Coach Gun, actually. But I don't know. I feel like Hanzo still functions in that usually good tier, but not great. Junk, actually, Junk might be situational. Yeah, Junk's going to be situational. On the right map, against the right things, he's good. Other than that, no. He can't really do much. McCree is actually going to go there. Again, he's good. Not great, but he's good. He's, you know, he doesn't function from the Mercy Pocket as well as an Ashe or even a Hanzo really does. And his survivability is lower than both, and he functions kind of the same role. So he's, you know, he's good if you're not going to jump him. He's good if you're not going to get in close range and try to kill him really quickly with, you know, Winston or something. But if you're not going to, then okay. Mei, thankfully, is going to be situational. She's a little bit than Brig. This is all really close down here in situational, but Mei's just like Junkrat on the right maps in the right situations, gonna work great. Otherwise, not really. You know, it's one of those things that sorry, I thought I had a notification that something up there or something. But like otherwise not great. Good if not countered. Fair is probably the best good if not countered character. Just because there's no Echo in here. All right, well, Echo would also go into good if not countered. But like if there's no hit scans, she can dominate with a Mercy or even without a Mercy, really. But if there's hit scans, it's rough. It's not great. Not to mention if you can't get value by the time the Reaper and Sombra kind of blow up your front line, it's still not great. Okay, so okay, Reaper. Now this one's kind of a struggle because it's either always good or usually good. And I think it's going to be always good. Because here's the thing about Reaper. No matter what tank line you play, he beats it. So, I don't know. What do y'all think? Is he here or here? I don't think he's as dominant as Lucio. I don't know. It's a rough one. Because Sombra can't get out. Usually Sombra can't get a hack on him. Usually good. Yeah, I feel like he's here. Because I feel like the whole point of these guys being up here, these snipers being up here, is the fact that Reaper actually has some difficulty against these, like, more... If you play meta versus counter meta, you play meta, which is the Brawl Rushdown, versus, like, the sniper mechanical counter meta, Reaper actually does have some issues. So I feel like he's here more than here. Soldier is definitely down here. Now, after... If the change goes through... No, I think he's here. I think Reaper's there. I think he's better than all three of these. But here's the thing. If the change goes through, Soldier goes from here to here. Is the thing. He's very, very situational. If you can pull off flanks consistently, if you can actually get headshots consistently, if you can get a good visor off consistently and like counter, I don't know, counter 2, 3, you know, get 2 kills with each visor, right? If you can do that consistently, he's situationally okay on certain maps. If you can't, he sucks. Now, with the change they're gonna make to him, with the ammo buff and then the straight recoil instead of the bloom, he's definitely going up here. Because he can do everything I just said, but with much more mechanical ease. Well, maybe he could still be countered really hard, so he might actually just go to here. I don't know. But for right now, he's there for sure. Alright, here's the thing about Sombra. She's definitely there. Here's the thing about Sombra. Hack and EMP are just too good. And I think that the only time Hack and EMP haven't been... The only time Hack and EMP haven't been good, sorry, is when the damage output and the healing output were so high that it didn't matter if you EMP'd them, because the straight just shooting from a Moira or Ana or a BAP was enough heals, and the straight damage output of the tanks and others made it hard to get close and actually blow the team up from an EMP. Now that that's gone, Sombra's stupid good. Like stupid good. And Sombra's one of these heroes that, like, Xin, like, Lucio I think is just good because he's good. Wait, by the way, Sombra's here. I think Lucio's just good because everything else around him is very, very good. Like, the style that he kind of helps with is just a really good style right now, I think, is the main thing. Get a wink? Alright, hold on. Alright. And that... Oh, gross, dude. I didn't put my dinner away from... Whoops. Let me... Hi, Ryu. I didn't know you were down there. What's going on? You don't get this. I'll be right back, guys. Oh my god. Don't like, auto start renewing winks, please. It's just so good. Alright, I'll give you... Hold on. There you go. Alright, I'll be right back. I didn't realize I left this in here. Alright. The smolder? I don't really have a smolder, but thank you. Anyway, so I think Lucio's just good because, like, everything that's happening around him is really good. I think Sombra's just overpowered. And here's the thing. There are a few ideas on, like, how to fix Sombra, right? Because, so she's a damage dealer. She's in the damage category, but really she's not a damage. She's a support, right? You just delete the other team's support. I mean, that's how you support your own. And that's like really more of what she's doing. More so than damage. So because she's not damage dealer because of pure damage numbers, she can't put out pure damage numbers. It's not in her. Because of that, I would say that you can't reduce her damage output. You can make EMP cost more, or you can, and I think this is the better thing to do, is you make it so it's punishable when she comes out of invis, or just invis in general, or translocate. Like things like, you know, you can't hack if you're being damaged. Well, what if you can't translocate if you're being damaged? What happens if redeem Trevor, do you even play anymore? We can do that. That's fine. Sometimes, okay. I mean, as long as you play, I don't want to, like, there's no point to that if you don't play. But, okay. So, Sombra, like, they need to make it punishable. So they need to they need to go back on timers for, like, invis and translocation. They need to, I don't know, they need to do something different because it's just it's too hard to punish her. You can't punish her. Symmetra's situational. She can go like around here somewhere. She's pretty decent situationally on certain maps, stuff like that, but otherwise nah. So yeah. So Torbjorn again is situational. The thing about Torbjorn is that he's situational, and he's really the best counter to things like Doomfist and Genji, and some of these other ones too. It's just that consistent damage from another angle, and then the ability to headshot over the top. Like something like that is really important. Tracer is going to go up. Nope, not there. It's going to go right there, usually good. She's a pretty good substitute. She's mechanically very hard. She can move around. She kind of does some things like Reaper does. She kind of does some things like Sombra does. Like she's usually pretty good, right? And then Widowmaker, I think is probably our like there-ish. She's Ashe, but doesn't need the Mercy Pocket. And if she gets dove, then she gets dove. Blah blah blah. Who's inviting me? Yeah, don't invite me. So yeah, no, that's kind of the damage tier list. So let's go with Sigma's not a tank, yet he's not anything else. Interesting. Okay. All right. DVa, I think, is probably somewhere in this range. Like somewhere in this range. Usually pretty good. She has some moments where she struggles against like double bubble and you know, hack and, you know, things like that. Orisa, believe it or not, I think Orisa actually is pretty squarely here. I don't think Orisa's that bad. I think she's slept on really badly. Okay. Here's the thing about Orisa that I think is slept on really badly. Is that A, she doesn't really have an off tank that functions with her really well right now. And B, the dive is just so fast moving and is able to move so quickly that I think that it's hard for her to get stuff done. But if the dive isn't moving together, or if the dive has difficulty doing some things, or whatever else, I think that she's actually pretty good. Rein is going to be right around this area again, usually pretty good. But again, there's a Winston involved. Roadhog is very situational. It's really only to counter super specific stuff. Sig needs work. Not as much work as these two, but Sig needs work, and really Sig needs work because his damage doesn't seem... No, Tracer is not always good. No, Tracer has some issues with staying in the fight against you know, a Winston and a DVa, or even a Winston and a Zarya, and getting value in those bubbles and DMs, and not taking so much chip damage that she has to get out really fast. She also has a problem going after a specific target. It's really hard for her to go after, like, think about what meta is. It's like Winston, DVa. Well, she can't really go after any of those. Lucio, Moira. I mean, you might be able to go to Lucio if he's not on a wall or something, but I mean, those are pretty difficult targets with cooldowns. Obviously, if you pull cooldowns, it's a little different, but and then Sombra Reaper. It's like, I mean, it's hard. It's hard. I don't think she should be higher. Maybe higher than Hanzo. Definitely higher than Hanzo. I don't know that she's that much. She's better than that, though. Honestly. Yeah, I mean, I think that's where she belongs. Winston's going to be here. Winston's going to be in the solidly top of the usually good. He's really good. His bubble's really, really solid. Ball's going to be right here with Orisa. If there's not a Sombra, Ball's amazing. Unfortunately, Sombra's meta. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. That's pretty much all it is. And then Zarya is going to be solidly there. And that's my list, I think. I think that's going to be my list there.